Welcome to the premiere episode of the Mdwstballboys podcast. I'm Easton, joined by my partner.
Deegan.
We have a stacked episode for y'all going over conference realignment, Pac-12 win totals, and our very own top 25. So let's waste no time and get right into conference realignment.
What are we starting with today?
We are going to start with the basic SEC, a move that happened last year. Texas and Oklahoma left. Let's actually go over the Big 12 too, because the Big 12 is gaining Arizona State, Utah, and Colorado.
So, do
Who
you
did,
think they're gaining or losing or staying the same after that? After losing Texas, Oklahoma, and gaining Arizona State, Utah, and Colorado.
Yeah. So I think Oklahoma and Texas are obviously very, very big brands, very, very big
I mean,
football
they were
schools.
the best two teams in the conference.
Yeah, for years, for
Yeah.
a long time. I don't think they're getting better with those four schools, but it's close. I mean, if you had to rebound in any way, that's how you rebound because that's the best way they could have done it.
They're not getting worse.
Yeah, they're not getting worse, but they're not getting better,
Okay.
I don't think. And obviously they're not going out and they're not going to be able to get Oregon, Washington, like a Notre Dame, maybe a Florida State, Miami, teams that are rumored to move. Oregon and Washington did move, but they weren't big enough after losing those two schools to get big brands. So I think they handled it really well after going and getting those corner schools plus Colorado.
Okay. And so do you think Texas and Oklahoma will be able to survive in the SEC?
That's a very interesting question. I think Texas and Oklahoma will definitely not be what they were in the Big 12. I think they'll be shocked the first couple years by the SEC's physicality, the talent there, because they recruit extremely well. But after a couple years, I think Texas and Oklahoma's recruiting will catch up, and they'll be more of a top SEC school.
I think Texas will definitely stand the best chance over Oklahoma, especially with their quarterback room right now. It's looking pretty good.
Yeah, they got a nice future lined up for them. And I like Oklahoma. I like their new head coach hire in Brent Venables. I think he's got a lot of potential to be a great coach.
Yeah, Oklahoma usually does a good job recruiting. I would say,
Yeah.
it's kind of underrated, but I think they usually do a pretty good job. And then, the Big Ten gaining Oregon, Washington, USC, and UCLA all in 2024.
Yeah, so
That's big.
yeah, it's huge for the Big Ten, and a lot of people were saying like the Big Ten doesn't want Oregon and Washington. I think those people are out of their mind. They got Oregon and Washington for a discount of what they would have been, and they are two humongous brands, two very big schools, good at football, good at most sports, and I think Oregon is just a huge addition for the Big Ten.
The Big Ten definitely played it smart, waiting till the Big 12 took in these other teams so that they could get Oregon and Washington at a discount
Yeah,
because they
definitely.
had to pay full for USC and UCLA. They
Yeah,
were obviously the first ones to punch their ticket, but it definitely paid out in Big Ten's favor.
yeah. Big Ten, it worked very well for him. And Tony Petitti, new commissioner of the Big Ten, really having a great first couple years.
And they got three teams in the top 25
Yeah,
from the same conference.
yeah. And I mean,
Two of them at 50% of what their value, I would say.
yeah. Out of the teams moving conferences, those are the best you could have done.
So, does how do you think Oregon, Washington, and USC will perform in the Big Ten? Obviously, UCLA is not the same caliber of football as those three teams, but they're still pretty good. I mean, I don't think they will. Maybe it'll be tough for them to make a bowl game, but I don't think they'll have a one-win season or anything.
Okay, so this is where I kind of differ from what I said about Oklahoma and Texas joining the SEC. the SEC has so many dominant schools. I'm not saying the Big Ten doesn't, with Ohio State, Michigan, Penn State every year being the way they are. I think teams like USC, Oregon, Washington, the recruiting standpoint, they will get tremendously better. I mean, what they've been able to do with recruiting in the Pac 12 alone, and now having the being able to recruit all time zones because they're in the Big Ten now, I think they will be all those teams, maybe not UCLA, on the top 50% of the conference right away. And yeah, all those schools have a good recruiting class as it is now. So I think their future 2024, 2024, or 2025, 26 classes, those are set up well already, and the recruiting is just gonna add to it.
I think the Big Ten is like not ready for. It's going to be different for the Big Ten because they're going to be looking at 4 West Coast offenses, and a lot of the Big Ten is just smash mouth football. We're just running it down your throat, basically.
Yeah, and we saw it last year. Washington played Michigan State and beat them pretty good. That was a lot of people were saying Michigan State was going to win that football game, and Washington showed West Coast football, great West Coast football. And Oregon played Ohio State a couple years ago, heavy underdogs, and
Beat them.
yeah, showed Ohio State
It was
what West
actually
Coast football is
a
about.
great game,
Yeah,
too.
amazing game. That's still a game that people go back and watch to this day. And USC, obviously, they're USC. I mean, they're a brand like Bama, Notre Dame, schools like that.
Yeah.
Ohio State, they're gonna be up there.
Okay, so I have another question with these Big Ten movements. What do you think is going to happen with the Rose Bowl?
Okay, so I think the Big Ten stays as an automatic bid for the Rose Bowl, but I think with the Pac-12 basically being gone, I think the Rose Bowl will either go to a Big 12 bid in the Big 12 bids as they are now, because I believe they have like a Sugar Bowl bid or a Fiesta Bowl bid. I think they will evaluate those and give it to another Power 5 school, or just drop it to a anybody can have it.
Yeah, maybe. I wonder if do you think that there's any chance that the SEC would get a bid straight in?
I think the Rose Bowl.
What about the ACC?
I think the Rose Bowl is just such a traditional Pac-12 Big Ten
Yeah.
type game. So I think that the as much as they're crushing traditions right now, I think they will keep the Rose Bowl tradition. There were 4 Pac-12 schools that went to the Big 12, 4 in the Big 10. I think they'll keep it that way and keep kind of the Pac involved in the Rose Bowl.
Okay. And then, so moving on a little bit with like the Pac-12. Obviously, right now there's 4 teams left in the Pac-12. Washington State, Oregon State, Stanford, and Cal. What's going to happen there?
Well, I see no scenario personally that the Pac-12 be able to save it. They dug themselves such down a deep hole in Oregon State, Washington State, Stanford, Cal. They're not the type of school to be like, oh, I'm so sorry for you. Yeah, let's build this thing back up. No. Everybody jump ship on them. What's their reason to stay loyal to the conference? I think they go Mountain West, or I think Stanford has a lot to offer in Oregon State, Washington State right behind them. Cal, I think, is just kind of a school that's there.
I could see Cal maybe going independent.
Yeah.
They definitely have funds for it.
Yeah. So that's a second most likely scenario, I think. I think those schools all go independent, or Big 10, Big 12. Maybe they pick up Stanford and somebody else. I think Stanford is the biggest school left.
There was
in
a
there.
rumor that the Pac-12 offered the Big 12 to take in all 4 of those teams left. You think the Big 12 would accept that?
I think it would definitely come down to the what it is in the TV contracts, because I know a lot of TV rights have a maximum set number of schools, and it was already a huge change to add four: Colorado, Utah, uh, Arizona State. And if they added those four remaining schools, they would have to negotiate it out with the TV deal.
Yeah, it would definitely not be 100%, not even close.
Yeah.
50 or less.
Yeah, they would be given less money than what Oregon and Washington would give it, even those corner schools that just joined the Big 12.
So do you think in the future, with the Big 12 adding these teams, that they will change who is broadcasting their games?
I think it. Well, the Big 12 now. What's their TV deal? I believe it's Fox.
I'm not sure.
I think it's Fox. Future deal. I think they have a future deal with Fox, and I mean Fox is a big company.
So they just signed in October 30th, 2022. They signed a 6-year extension deal with ESPN and Fox, $380 million a year.
Okay, ESPN and Fox. So this first year in 2024 will be interesting, because I think those schools that joined will make immediate impacts. Like the Big 12 in 2023 is kind of a question. Besides Oklahoma and Texas, who's going to win it?
I think Utah might win the first year. I mean, I wouldn't be super surprised if Utah won.
I think Utah should be the heavy favorite. I mean, they won the Pac-12 back-to-back years. They could win it this year again,
depending on how K-State, TCU perform.
Yeah, and I think the Big 12, I mean, Texas and Oklahoma are leaving. There's not really a traditional every year good school.
And
I mean,
even Texas and Oklahoma, they haven't. I mean, when was the last time that Texas competed for a Big 12 championship?
Yeah, exactly. It's been a long time. And Oklahoma, even last year, I mean, they were not really in the conversation at all.
Nope.
And K-State and TCU just had good years. You know, TCU had a
very good year,
a very experienced quarterback,
Sonny Dykes.
Yeah, Sonny Dykes, and then
season.
K-State. They should have another good year this year, but they will definitely have to rebuild. They're not a powerhouse every year recruiting school that they just reload every year.
Yeah, I'm interested to see how K-State will perform this year and even next year with the new teams coming in.
Yeah. And I'm not saying Utah's a every year recruiting school, but they are definitely. I mean, they're gonna lose a lot of people after this year.
Right now, they're pretty hot though.
Yeah, they're hot right now, and their coach Kenny Dillingham, he's a great coach. I think his recruiting is very slept on, and he doesn't go out and get all the big 5 stars. He develops his young 3 and 4 stars.
Yeah, I mean, it'll be interesting to see how those Pac-12 schools do when they first join the Big 12. Definitely will probably make an impact.
Yeah, and hold on. I'm very interested in Colorado.
Yeah, I was just about to say that. That's funny.
Colorado going back to their home, really. The recruiting, I believe, will skyrocket.
Oh yeah, for sure. And with Dion,
yeah, with Coach Prime being there now, recruiting is going to go up. I mean, it already has. And the transfer portal, I think when they join the Big 12, they could be the new Oklahoma or the new Texas.
Wow. How long? And how long? And how many years?
I think as long as Coach Prime is there, if he shows he can win football games, which he shows he can recruit.
Yeah, we'll see if they can really win this year.
Yeah, I think when his sons are there, their recruiting's good. It'll be interesting how they will be able to recruit when his sons aren't there,
or if he will still even be there after Shador and graduates.
Shiloh. Yeah, should be interesting. And I love Arizona State. Arizona State has I love that school. It's in Tempe. It's kind of out there in the desert, but it's a
little bit of a party school.
Yeah, a little bit of a party school.
Bring some life to the Big 12 after losing probably.
Exactly.
Oklahoma and Texas, I feel like those are definitely the two biggest schools. So,
and I think Arizona State's been a sleeper Pac-12 schools a lot of years. I mean, they've been able to pull off some big upsets. They've never really been there.
That's where Jade Daniels
Yeah,
transferred
Jane
transferred
Daniels was
out
there.
from.
They had Eno Benjamin, big NFL running back now. So I think they're a very slept on school and could have an immediate impact in the Big 12.
So with all of the teams that moved through conference realignment, joined and left, who's the winner here? What conference is the winner, and what teams are the winners?
I think the biggest winning conference is kind of obvious. I think it's the Big 10.
Yeah.
Just because you're adding four great markets, four great brands, and four great just football schools. And well,
The best
you
recovery was Big 12, obviously.
yeah, best recovery was a Big 12.
Big
They were
Band-Aid.
they were a sinking ship, and they even
Yep.
reached out to the Pac-12 asking to merge because they were freaking out. They were in the Pac-12 situation now last year, but uh they took the good remaining schools that were out there. I mean, if the Pac-12 kept what they had before Colorado left, and went out and got group of five schools, they wouldn't have as good of options because Big 12 went out and got the best group of five schools. They got Houston, Cincinnati, BYU, and UCF. I mean, those are the best remaining group of five schools out there. And those schools, I think, will be able to make big impacts for the Big 12.
Yeah. Brett Yormack definitely had a great recovery after losing
Yeah,
Texas and
he
Oklahoma.
did a tremendous job, and I think Oregon and Washington are the schools that got saved because those are such like I keep mentioning such big brands, such big
Yeah,
markets.
I could not imagine seeing either of those teams in like a
Yeah,
MAC conference.
or a sinking Pac-12 conference. Like it just wouldn't work
Yeah.
out. And it's funny to see how big of an impact each school is because USC and UCLA left, and the impact was immediately felt in Colorado after they left. Everybody started panicking. So it's even though Colorado's probably the worst school in the Pac-12, the impact was just so big.
Yeah. I couldn't even imagine seeing Washington and Oregon in the Big 12. I feel like their competition is so much better in the Big 10. I mean, it obviously is with the Big 10 having, the caliber of schools they have: Ohio State, Michigan, Penn State, you know, Iowa some years, Michigan State some years.
Yeah.
Just Oregon and Washington and USC are definitely going to be able to compete. Um, so here's another interesting question. Um, will any of Oregon, Washington, USC, UCLA in the next 5 years, will either of those schools win the Big Ten championship?
I think the Big Ten has been so dominated by Ohio State every year, Michigan every year, and
Yep.
the West has never been able to represent. I think,
After divisions are going away, it's going to be a whole new book.
yeah, it is, and it'll be interesting how they reevaluate all that, what they do with divisions now, and who everybody has to play because these West Coast schools will likely all have to play each other, which wasn't happening every year in the Pac-12. USC and UCLA played each other every year. Oregon and Washington did, but they didn't all play each other. They will have to now in the Big Ten, and I think whoever comes out of those West Coast schools on top, I think has a very very big chance of winning the Big Ten, and I think it will happen
I
in the
think
next five
also the
years.
Big Ten does a good job of like trying to make the good teams play each other. Ohio State, Michigan's obviously a big rivalry, so they play each other every year.
Yeah, and I mean, that East division has just been so dominant. I mean, the West has just always been behind. I mean, the biggest team out of these past years would maybe be like Wisconsin. I,
Yeah.
don't- I don't know. It
Northwestern was in it one year.
yeah, it doesn't even compare to Ohio State or Michigan,
Yeah.
Penn State, Michigan State. It doesn't compare to the a third or fourth school down in the East division.
Yeah. I mean, yeah.
Yeah, it's a big change, and I think those new West Coast schools they will definitely shock
I think
those East Division
either
teams.
USC or Oregon will definitely be able to compete for it
Yeah,
in the next 5 years.
yeah,
Will they win? Obviously, we don't know, but they definitely have a chance.
Yeah, it should be fun. It
As
should be
good of a
interesting.
chance as Penn State does.
Yeah,
You know,
and Penn State this year especially, I think they have a very big chance.
and Michigan will be losing players after this year. They obviously bring back a ton, but after this year they'll be losing players. They'll still be really good, just because of who they are, but it won't be the same Michigan team this year as it will be next year. So now we're going to Pac-12 win totals, and we're gonna go in alphabetical order. So starting off, Arizona over under 5 wins. What are we thinking?
Okay, let me see their schedule real
All
quick.
right, first game, Northern Arizona.
Northern Arizona W.
Okay. Second game at Mississippi State.
That's going to be a good game. That's the ninth, right? Ninth, September 9th.
Yep.
Yeah, and it's a night game too. That'll be an interesting game, probably like an ESPN, regular ESPN type game. Um, I think Arizona is going to be able to play well on offense, but
That's a 6:30 p.m. game.
yeah, prime time. I don't think Arizona is going to be able to get it done at Mississippi State.
Okay. Uh, week 3, they've got UTEP. Actually, they have a bye, I think. Anyway, September 16th.
That would be a bye.
Okay. September 16th, they've got UTEP at home.
UTEP. Okay, UTEP actually is a slept-on school. They hung with a good UTSA team last year. Actually, they might have won that game. But anyways, those non-Power 5 Texas schools down there, they can play, and you shouldn't sleep on them. I think they get it done, but I think it's closer than people think. Yeah, UTSA beat UTEP by 3 last year. And UTSA, I think, is a very, very good school. So I think Arizona close.
Okay.
So that's two wins.
So we're 2-1 right now. Week 4, we go to Stanford.
At Stanford, I think Stanford is going to be a little bit better than they were last year, but not by a lot. I don't think Stanford's that good of a team right now, and I love their coach, Brian Shaw, I believe, but I don't think Stanford is beating Arizona. I'll give Arizona 3-1.
Okay. Then they've got Washington at home.
Washington, very good school. Michael Penix, he's going to have a field day on Arizona. That's a big win for Washington.
So
Loss
now
for Arizona, 3-2.
3-2. Okay. At USC.
At
That's
USC,
rough.
that is rough. I think this is kind of like how USC played against Cal last year. That game was close. I think after Arizona gets dominated by Washington, I think they come out mad. They stick with USC most of the game, but they lose by 10 or 14.
Okay. So we're now 3-3,
3-3, yep.
and then we head to Washington State.
Washington State. Okay, that's a tough place to play. In Pullman.
After an on-the-road game, straight back to on the road
Yeah, that's
against USC. Now you're at Washington State.
Washington State returns a lot of people, I believe, in their quarterback that transferred from Incarnate Ward. He's a good quarterback, and I remember watching that Oregon game. Oregon won barely in that game. Like they were down by like 23, I believe it was, in the fourth quarter with like 5 minutes left, and Oregon just chipped away and came back and won that game by like I think they won by 3. That was a huge comeback, big scare for Oregon. I think that's a game where I'm kind of split, but I'm gonna give it to Washington State. I think Arizona loses that game. 3-game losing streak for Zona.
Okay. 3-4. Then we've got Oregon State at home.
again, they have to play so many good schools in a row. I think, like the USC game, I think this is going to scare a lot of Oregon State fans. Oregon State, they almost lost to Stanford last year. They won on like a last 10-second win. I think it's going to be very similar. Oregon State, very very close, very very scary game for Oregon State.
Okay,
3-5.
3-5. Then we got UCLA at home.
So this is one where I think Arizona can steal. UCLA, a lot of people want to tell me that UCLA is going to be good. I think Dante Moore is a good quarterback. They lost Zach Charbonnet. They lost DTR. They lost a lot. Um, I I think this is a kind of a experience game for Dante Moore. It's a learning game, and I think they lose it very close, like a Arizona field goal to win it.
So
But I,
4.
I I'm very split on that game. I'll give it to Arizona.
So we're now 4-4.
4-5
4-5. Sorry. Okay. Then we head to Colorado,
at Colorado. Tough
and I
environment
believe that's a Friday game.
at Boulder. Dion's team. That's a game where I'm also split. Arizona has a lot of split games this year, and I'm gonna be kind of hard to keep track what I'm saying as we go through these win totals. But I think Arizona gets it done, but I think Colorado could win that game. I think Arizona gets it done though.
So 5-5 now. Then we've got Utah at home. That's tough.
Yeah, I don't see Arizona being Utah. I think Utah wins by like 17.
Okay. 5-6. And then final game, a little bit of a rivalry. Arizona at Arizona State.
At Arizona State, tough to play in the desert. I love Arizona State. Like that, I just like that school, and I think Kenny Dillingham has a very good ways of going about his coaching. I think I'm not sure who the quarterback is at Arizona State, but they have a great coach. A phenomenal quarterback coach was the offensive coordinator, I believe, maybe quarterback coach at Oregon, Coach Justin Herbert and Bo Nix. So I think Arizona State hangs in that game. It's a very close rivalry game. I think Arizona gets it done to come in even at 6-6.
So that would be above the win total, though. So,
I think they go over 5.
okay. All right. So now we're going to go ahead to Arizona State. As you said earlier, you like this school this year.
I like that school. I like that school a lot.
Arizona State's win total is also 5. You have any predictions before we go through the schedule?
Like I said, Kenny Dillingham is a great coach. He's a kind of a quarterback whisperer. I think they're going to be better than people give them credit for.
Okay. Week 1, we've got Southern Utah at home.
I think that's a game where it's maybe a close in the first quarter. You know, quarterback figuring out his job, but that Arizona State will run away in that game and win. Maybe like I'm saying like 49-14.
So just an FYI, Arizona State first 4 games in a row are all at home.
That's big.
So week 2, they've got Oklahoma State at home. Oklahoma State is not a bad team.
That's a fun game. That's a game where is it on Fox?
I don't know.
I think that's a Fox game. Oh, what time is that at?
That game is. Hold on, I just lost the schedule. Let me go find it again real quick.
Yeah, like I said, quarterback whisper Kenny Dillingham. Quarterback.
So that game's a 9:30 p.m. game.
9:30. So Oklahoma State won't have to play in that desert heat. By then it'll cool off a little bit. Tempe's a
They're
tough.
not used to playing that late though.
Yeah, they aren't used to playing that late, but Oklahoma State's a good school. And actually, I just forgot Spencer Sanders is gone now. Um, close game. I am actually gonna give this one to Arizona State.
Okay.
I like Oklahoma State, but I don't think they get it done against ASU.
So then we've got Fresno State at home.
Fresno State. Good school actually. I like Fresno State. They are kind of known for upsets. I've seen them beat a lot of teams. I've seen them play very close against teams, but this one I think Arizona State is they're feeling very confident heading into conference play, going 3-0.
Okay. Then they've got USC at home, week 4.
That's a big game for the Southern Pac-12 division. Obviously, there's not Pac-12's gone away with divisions, but I mean for the championship game. But a good old South Division tradition game. I think USC wins that one, but
I'd have to agree.
I think it's like a 14-point game. I don't think USC wins a lot of their games by a lot this year, but it very high scoring in those games.
Okay. So then we head to Cal.
3-1 going into the Cal game. I think Cal is an interesting team this year. They played, like I said earlier, when we were talking about Arizona, they played very good against USC last year, but I don't think they're good enough to get it done against Arizona State in this game. Very, very good start for Kenny Dillingham School. 4-1.
4-1. Okay. Then we've got Colorado at home.
Colorado at home. Now that I'm saying, Arizona State's 4-1, that's hard to stop that momentum. I was Colorado's win total. We're about to get to that. It is very interesting. I might switch up a couple when we get to that, but I think Arizona, if they are 4-1 by then, they keep the momentum going. They could be a top 25 team by now. They're 5-1.
Okay. After they beat Colorado at home, they have a bye. Then they head to Washington.
This after Arizona State's 5-1, only lost to USC. They are a ranked team. Washington's a good ranked team. I think it will be a very anticipated
After this,
game.
they're going to experience the toughest part of their schedule.
I think it will be a very anticipated game, but they lose to Washington.
Okay. So we are now 5-2. Then we've got Washington State at home.
Washington State, like I said, I like the quarterback at Washington State. Is it Cameron Ward? I believe. Cameron Ward, I like him. He played great against Oregon, like I mentioned last year. Let me just double check so I'm not mispronounced or make sure Cameron Ward is the quarterback at Washington State. He is from Incarnate Ward, the transfer. I think Arizona State, if they want to stay like close to top 25 contention, they need to win the game. But I think Washington State's a good school, and they steal that one from Arizona State.
So 5-3,
5-3,
heading to Utah.
heading to Utah. Now, Arizona State, I think they steal a game. Don't knock on me for this, but
Away at Utah.
I think they steal a game against one of those top Pac-12 schools like Oregon, Washington, Utah, USC. I think this might be the game. It's either this one or the Washington game. I don't think they beat Oregon. I don't think they beat USC.
They have Oregon at home.
Which a couple years ago they did.
They play Washington and Utah away, but they have Oregon at home, and they play Washington after a bye.
Yeah, I'm sticking with it. I think Utah, that's a very winnable game for them. Okay, I'm just gonna play it safe. I'm taking Utah,
Okay, so we're 5-4 now.
but close.
5-4, heading to UCLA.
To UCLA, Chip Kelly needs to win some games. He does. I don't know if he's gonna do that a lot this year, but I think Arizona State's kind of on their climb down in this part of the season, and I think UCLA gets a much needed win against Arizona State. Big game for Dante Moore.
So we're on a bit of a losing streak now. 5-4.
Is this where they play Oregon?
They play Oregon at home.
Oregon at home. This is a scary game because this takes me back to 2019. 2019, Oregon with Justin Herbert, very, very hot, on fire, win this game to get to the Oregon State game, and they win out. They go to the playoff, and it was very, very likely that they would do so. And they go to a tough place in Tempe, and they lose that game. Justin Herbert has a terrible game. They come back but lose 31-28. Very close. Jaden Daniels, Eno Benjamin, big game. Uh, I I don't think it's gonna be like that again. They don't have the quarterback like they did in Jaden Daniels, or the running back in Benjamin. So I like Oregon in that game,
Okay.
but I keep saying this closer than people expect.
So 5-5. Heading into the Arizona State and Arizona rivalry, which, as of the last prediction, we were saying Arizona State would win, correct?
Yes,
So Arizona was 6 wins, also over the win total.
Arizona State.
Yeah.
And Arizona was over too, right?
Yep, they were both 6 wins.
All right. Good year for both schools. Arizona State only plays 11 games
That's
this
bowl
year.
games. I mean, that's what I'm seeing. Maybe I missed a game. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. No, there's 12. I must have just miscalculated.
Did we miss one?
I don't think so. No.
So they're
I just
6-6.
yeah, 6-6, I believe, is what they are.
Okay. 6-6.
So,
Good year. Good year for those Arizona schools.
Bowl game.
Breaking even. Yeah, bowl game, breaking even. That's good year for those Arizona schools.
yeah, the last year in the Pac-12, both schools. So
Yeah, both going to the Big 12, heading in with a 500 season.
okay. Now we go to Cal. Over under 5 wins.
That seems to be the trend in that for those
Yeah.
lower kind of Pac-12 schools. But I'm not gonna lie, Cal is that type of school. I believe that's a kind of a one close win type of year with a good team, but not very relevant.
So they actually play some interesting non-conference games. Uh, they've they the first game of the year they go to North Texas.
North Texas loss. No, I'm kidding. Cal going to North Texas. I think they get it done. I don't know how big North Texas is, but it's not enough to phase the Bears of California.
Okay, and then week 2, they've got Auburn at home.
Auburn. I like
Hugh Freeze.
Hugh Freeze. I like Auburn playing these Pac-12 schools, but it's not like the Oregon Auburn games a couple of years back. It's California is not Oregon. They're California. So I don't think they're winning that game.
Okay.
1-1.
And then we've got Idaho at home.
Idaho, get used to this feeling of winning early because I don't know if they're gonna have it in the conference this year. So give them that win, but that might be a rarity.
Yeah, their conference schedule is tough. After Idaho, we go to Washington.
To Washington, I said they have a close game against a good team. I think it has potential to be a close game. You know, like 14's close for a school like California. But I don't think it's that close. I think it's maybe 21, 24, 28. Washington wins.
Okay.
2-2, right?
Yes, 2-2.
2-2.
And then we've got Arizona State at home.
Arizona State gets the W. I talked
Alright.
about that game
Yep.
earlier.
So
2-3.
2-3. Then we've got Oregon State at home.
Oregon State at home. DJU getting comfortable in that offense. I like Oregon State this year. And I think Oregon State gets it done. I don't think that's a close game for them.
So we're 2-4. Then we head to Utah.
Head to Utah. So this, I think, might be their close game this year. Utah is going to be feeling confident by this point. I believe, and I think Cal scares them a little bit. Maybe a 10-point win for Utah. I believe
Uh,
that's what I'm thinking. That's
so
their close game this year.
so now we're 2-5.
2-5.
Then we've got USC at home.
USC. It was their close game last year.
Yep.
The year before it was against Oregon. They lost on a goal line stand to Oregon, I believe. I remember watching that game. Late Pac-12 after dark game on ESPN, and they lost by like a yard. It was their close game last year against USC. It's not close this year. USC wins by 20s, maybe 30s.
So 2-6.
2-6 for Cal.
Then we're headed to Oregon.
Headed to Oregon. Wow, I'm taking Cal. No, I'm not. I'm taking I'm taking the Ducks in this one. 24-point win for the Ducks.
Okay. Then we've got Washington State at home.
Washington State at home. They do have a nice new stadium.
We're
by the
2
way.
and 7 right now. By
2
the way,
and 7 Cal.
the win total is not looking good.
They got to win out to do it, to break even, and I don't think they're beating Washington State. Like I said, Cameron Ward's a good quarterback, very slept on in the quarterbacks in the Pac-12. I mean, they're stacked. You got Bo Nix, Cam Rising, Caleb Williams, obviously, Michael Penix. You got Dante Moore, Shador Sanders, Jane DeLora.
Yeah,
Yeah,
a pretty good quarterback conference.
A lot of good quarterbacks. Cameron Ward is often looked over, and this is a big game for him. I think Washington State handles Cal, and Cameron Ward has a very big game.
Okay. Then we head
Is that 2-8?
2-8. Then we head to Stanford.
Head to Stanford. Big game for Cal. This is kind of a rivalry game. Very, very, very close, but I like Stanford in this one.
2-9. Win total is not looking good.
Well, I think it's not a possibility anymore.
Then we head to UCLA for the last game of the year.
Head to UCLA. That's why I said earlier, when you beat Idaho, you got to remember that feeling. I don't think they get it done against UCLA. Dante Moore
looking at a 2-10 season,
finishing his conference season off with a nice W for UCLA.
So,
2-10 season for Cal.
Essentially slam the under in Vegas
Well, somebody's got to do it.
For this Cal team because they're winning 2 games, I guess.
Hold on. I'm trying not to be disrespectful, but quarterback for Cal says Cal has 3 other quarterbacks on his spring roster that they're looking at: Fernando Mendoza, Noah Mitchum, and Tyler Jensen. And it looks like Fernando Mendoza might be that quarterback. Whoever it was last year, I think was good, but I don't think they're going to be very good this year. Oh, Jack Plummer. Jack Plummer was a good quarterback. Okay, yeah. Jack Plummer is gone. So, yeah, I think Cal has a bad year.
Okay. Okay. Now we head to...
Oh, hold on. Jack Plummer
Okay.
transferred to Louisville.
Really?
Louisville has a good quarterback. I like Jack Plummer a lot.
Okay.
If Jack Plummer was still on Cal now, I might have to take back a lot of those wins, but I'm sticking with it. I don't think Cal has a good quarterback here at all.
Okay. Now we head to Colorado. Over under 3.5, despite being the number 1 transfer portal class.
This is the best Vegas line I have seen after going over win totals, because Cal has a very tough schedule and they have a lot of potential. But Cal's not one of those teams where it's like in between. It's either they're gonna win a lot or they're gonna lose a lot. So I think Colorado. Was I saying Cal?
Yeah, you're saying Cal.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I think Colorado is gonna have a good season in the term of the win total. I think they're gonna go over, but not by much.
Okay. So, first game of the year, they play a future conference game. They go to TCU.
Yeah, going to TCU. So, Colorado, I think, is kind of like the Nebraska of 2 years back. A lot of teams, I saw they were called the best 3-9 team in college football history.
Who, Nebraska?
Yeah,
Yeah, they lost. I think every single game they lost was by one score.
yeah. I think that could be the year of Colorado. Now they could be the team to win close games. I'm not saying they're not, but I think a lot of their games are going to be close, and if they're losing, it's not by much. So if you're a
They definitely
Colorado
have
fan,
talent to keep them in
yeah,
games.
Travis Hunter, Shador Sanders,
It's going to come down to coaching.
Cormani, that new recruit they landed, I believe, maybe a transfer.
Yeah.
But I think they have a very good roster, but their losses are going to be close.
Okay. And then
Let's dive in.
So away at TCU.
Away at TCU. Very, very close game, entertaining game. Got potential to be one of the most anticipated games of that week. I think they lose it by a field goal. That's kind of like a lot of TCU games last year. They won very close. That one I watched that clip of them running the field goal unit on with no timeouts, and they kicked it and won it as time expired. That was tremendous. TCU does it again with the kicking.
Okay. Then they've got Nebraska at home. Actually, a pretty highly anticipated game.
Very highly anticipated game. You know, an old rivalry. Nebraska's getting a very good new coach. I like him a lot, Matt Rule.
Yeah.
Matt Rule, I like him a lot. I didn't like what he did at the Panthers, but I loved what he did at Baylor. He's a college football coach.
He's doing the right things for Nebraska right now.
Yeah, he didn't belong in the NFL, but I think Matt Rule reinsures the faith in Nebraska football. I think they win that one.
So we're 0-2.
Close, though. Close.
Then we've got Colorado State at home.
Colorado State. This is where Colorado fans see their W. I think it's a big win for Colorado.
Okay. Then we head to Oregon.
Head to Oregon. This is maybe a scare for Oregon because Colorado, I think Shador Sanders wakes up in this game, and the critics are like, "Wow, this is we didn't expect Colorado to do that," but I think it's a close game. I think it's like a 10-point win for Oregon, but touchdown late. So very close, but a loss for Colorado.
We're 1-3. Then we've got USC at home.
USC at home. I think this is another close game for Colorado. They aren't quite there, but it's like a 14, maybe 10-point loss for Colorado. Similar to the Oregon game.
Okay. So 1-4. And then they head to Arizona State.
Head to Arizona State.
I believe you said you liked Arizona State earlier
Really?
in this game.
Okay.
Maybe I'm mistaken.
Okay. I think I did. So we'll give that one to Arizona State, but very, very close. Good game for Shador Sanders. Running up the scoreboard in that game. I think it's like a 49-42 or a 49-45 type loss. Not a lot of defense in there.
So this is kind of an interruption, and I don't mean to go off topic here, but I have just received news that the SEC has told ESPN they would go to a 9-game conference schedule if they can get 2 more schools added at full share.
Really?
That's what I'm seeing.
That's interesting. What are they now? 8-game conference?
I believe it's 7 or 8.
I think it's 8 because Bama always plays 3 non-conference, and then they have like the team like the Citadel. I remember.
Then they
playing.
usually play like a non-conference game in November.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. So I think it's 8. So they'll go to 9 if they add 2 more. So that should wake up.
But
Like Florida State,
the ACC
Miami.
schools, it's tough with their TV deal.
It is very tough. But if there was, I don't know. I didn't see it, but this might be a little tease from the SEC. Something's happening that they're trying to hint at, but not give too much of a hint. They're trying to wake up the talks and steal it from Big Ten, maybe.
Yeah, I don't know.
but I don't think much is happening, but it could.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll see how that plays out. But anyways, back to Colorado, Arizona State. Arizona State gets the win here.
Arizona State gets the win.
Okay.
Rough start for Colorado.
I believe they're 1-5 right now.
1-5, but second half of the season looks promising.
Does it?
I think so.
We got Stanford at home.
Stanford at home. I like Colorado in this game. Stanford. Like I said, I like their coach, but not a good year for Stanford. Still got to recruit a little bit more.
Okay. Then we go
2-5.
Go to UCLA.
Go to UCLA. What did I say in this game? When we talked about maybe I didn't. We haven't gone over this.
Yeah, we
yet.
haven't gone to this one.
So I think
We talked about Cal, UCLA.
I talked about Chip Kelly. He needs a win against Cal. I think this is a game where Dante Moore doesn't play well. It kind of shows youth. And I think Shador Sanders has a huge game. I think Colorado steals this one.
Okay.
3-5.
3-5. Then we've got Oregon State at home.
Oregon State. So I think Oregon State is a very good team, but there's one game in there, and there usually happens each year. I mentioned the Oregon State Stanford game that was close, and I think Oregon State drops this one, lays an egg in this one against Colorado. Colorado waking up, maybe fishing for a bowl game.
Interesting. So we're now 4-5.
4-5. Colorado waking up.
And then we've got Arizona at home. And
Arizona
I believe earlier
at
you
home.
said Arizona would win this game.
Okay. So coming off that upset against Oregon State, Arizona, Colorado feeling a little cocky, getting to their bowl game. I think this one humbles them.
So they're 4-6. And then they head to Washington State.
Head to Washington State.
We are over the 3.5 win total though right now.
Oh, we are.
Yeah, we're at 4.
Okay. I like that then. Like I said, I love Cameron Ward. Very slept on quarterback. Shador is talked about a lot.
This could be a shootout.
Good, yeah. I think it's got a lot of potential to be a shootout. I think Washington State handles business, but like I said, Colorado's gonna have a lot of close games this year.
And so we're 4-7 now, and to finish up the season, we head to Utah.
Head to Utah.
That's rough.
It is rough.
That's especially Utah is gonna need to be hot at this time if they want a chance to win the Pac-12
get to the
and or
Pac-12.
make the playoffs.
So if you're a team like Washington, Oregon, USC, you're rooting for Colorado in this game because Utah is in the Pac-12 conversation.
Yeah.
You're rooting for Utah. You almost get your wish. Or you're rooting for Colorado. You almost get your wish, but it comes just short. Cam Rising comes up big. Wins by 7.
So we're gonna finish out the season 4-8 for
4-8.
Colorado.
Does
And
take the over, though. I like the over.
That's gonna be over the win total. Okay. Now we go to Oregon. 9.5 is our win total.
9.5. All right. I love Oregon this year. I love Bucky Irving, very talented running back.
Let's state before this though, you are an Oregon fan.
You would like to state that?
I would.
Okay. Yeah, I am a little bit biased towards Oregon. I love Bucky Irving. I love Bo Nix. Bo Nix got his, I believe, adopted brother on his team now, Tez Johnson, transfer. Got a lot of transfers in at wide receiver. Troy Franklin, amazing wide receiver. Gonna have a big year. And I like the Ducks a lot.
Oregon finished the season. Oh, okay.
10-3 last year.
So I was looking at the wrong thing. I thought they finished the season ranked 5th.
No,
But
they
it was
were
15th.
15th.
Okay. So we've got Portland State at home week 1.
Portland State,
Easy win.
easy win. That Oregon always has like a non-conference reassuring win that's like 77-7 or something like that. I don't know.
They beat Eastern Washington 70-14 last year.
Yeah, they always have a firework game. I think it's not quite in the 70s, but I think it's like 56-10.
Okay. Then we head to Texas Tech.
At Texas Tech, I believe Texas Tech's quarterback is the former Oregon backup Tyler Shook, and I believe he made the right decision to leave Oregon. Very fun game in Lubbock for Texas Tech. It's going to be a big one on their schedule because I don't believe there's a caliber like Oregon in that conference. Besides, like Oklahoma, Texas, this is a top 3 game on their schedule that year, and I don't think they get that done. I think they lost. They lost their D tackle or DN who went. Was it like Tyree Wilson?
I
Or it was somebody very very good. And I don't think they're good enough.
I know who you're talking about. I just don't know his name. So okay. So Oregon gets the win here. We're
Yeah,
starting
Tyree Wilson.
2-0.
Went. He was a first round pick last year, top 10 pick.
Okay.
I think Oregon wins that game by like 10-13.
Okay, and then now we've got Hawaii at home.
Hawaii. So Oregon actually recruits a lot out of Hawaii. They get a lot of Samoan football players. Oregon gets this one done in a big firework type football game. This might be their 70-14 game.
Okay, and then we've got Colorado at home.
Colorado at home, like I said earlier, Oregon gets this one done.
Stanford at Stanford.
At Stanford, doesn't matter. I like Oregon in this one. Was that 5-1? 4-1?
That is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5-0.
5-0. Oh yeah, they haven't lost a game.
And then we go to Washington.
5-0. Okay. Oregon is mad. As an Oregon fan, I am very mad that we lost to Washington last year. I was upset with the refs. I think I think we go to Washington and beat them close. Kind of like the 2019 game. Very close. Jacob Eason was a big player in that game. They had a sack defense, but Oregon gets it done. Very close. Maybe 3-7.
So we're 6-0 now.
6-0. Oregon's
Washington State at home.
Definitely a top 10 team by now. Washington State spooked Oregon last year. I mean,
By the way you're talking about Washington State right now, it sounds like they're gonna fucking go undefeated.
Washington State's a good team, a very slept-on team. But no, Deegan, they're not going undefeated. They lose to Oregon. But close game. Close game. They always keep it close against the Ducks.
Okay, so we're 7-0.
7-0.
Then we go to Utah.
At Utah. This is a game that's a very highlighted game for Oregon. Lost a couple years ago. Bad. They lost like 49-10. I think Oregon is gonna lose a game this year. I think it's this one. They lose to Utah. Very, very close. Like
We haven't got to USC yet either.
35-32. Utah wins it on a field goal.
Okay.
Heartbreaker.
7-1.
7-1.
Okay, and then we've got Cal at home.
Cal at home. Oregon gets it done. By a lot.
USC at home.
USC at home. This another good game. This might be a college game day game.
Like Utah and USC could be interchangeable for the loss.
Yeah, I believe it could. But the reason why I think Utah's such a tough place to play at, and I think Oregon at home is strong, and it's hard. They are hard to.
It's hard to win in Autzen.
Hard to win in Autzen, exactly. Washington did it last year, but it's not happening this year. I think Oregon goes undefeated at home this year. They beat USC very, very close.
Okay, so we're now 8-1. Then we head to Arizona State.
Arizona State spooks them just like Washington State did, but I don't think Arizona State gets it done. Nice to see Kenny Dillingham back playing against the Oregon team, but doesn't get it done. Close though.
So we're 9-1, and
9-1.
We've got Oregon State at home.
Oregon
last game of
State.
the year.
They're 9-1 or are they 10-1?
10-1. Sorry.
10-1, yeah. So they are already a 10-win team. Oregon kind of looked past Oregon State last year. They were up by like 28. It was one of the biggest comebacks in college football last year for Oregon State. It's not going to be that big of a gap in the game like it was last year. Close throughout, Oregon wins by 10.
So 11-1. It's
11-1.
over 9.5.
Over 9.5. By a game and a half. I think they could make the playoff this year.
Well, that's a bold prediction.
I like them.
SEC is looking good this year.
Yeah,
Same
I
with Big
think
Ten.
Oregon is a very good candidate. If they are 11-1 in a 3-point, maybe 7-point loss at Utah, I think they are a very strong candidate. And if they win the Pac-12 championship,
Okay.
they are a
So
very strong candidate to make the playoffs.
so now we go to Oregon State.
Oregon State. I like the team. Similar to last year, I believe. I think they will be.
Okay, so we go to San Jose State, first game of the year.
Win. Big win.
UC Davis at home.
Huge win. That's like a 63-3 type win for Oregon State.
2-0. San Diego State at home.
San Diego State.
I'm saying we're 3-0 right now.
3-0, yes, but San Diego State kind of slows down Oregon State's tempo. They dominate the possession, the time of possession in that game, but Oregon State wins like lower scoring than a lot of people think, 28-17.
Okay. Now we go to Washington State. I think we're 4-0 right now.
At Washington State,
I think you gave Washington State enough games
I love Washington.
that
I
they
love
lose
I love,
to a good Oregon State offense.
Okay, I know Oregon State's Oregon's rival, but hear me out. Washington State is a scary team, and nobody's gonna give them credit for it. I will. Cameron Ward's a very good quarterback. Very scary team. I will give Oregon State a win here. Though,
Okay.
by a field goal.
4-0, and then we got Utah at home. I'm saying
Utah at home. Utah goes into a spooky, loud environment. This is
Oregon State might pull this one off.
maybe like a Halloween game. Is it, what's the date on
September
it?
29th.
Oh,
Not quite Halloween
little
yet.
premature. But getting into the colder parts of the year, it's a cooler type night game. I think Utah gets scared in this one.
This could be Utah's fumble.
This might be Utah's fumble.
Okay. So
Actually, no. I like Utah in this game.
Oh.
We will get to
Changing
Utah's
opinions?
fumble. I have a fumble for Utah.
okay, so we are 4-1.
Yep.
Then we head to Cal. That's a should be an easy win.
Yeah.
Uh,
5-1.
UCLA at home.
UCLA at home.
Chip Kelly might get an upset here.
Yeah, that's exactly what I'm thinking. I think Chip Kelly, he's gonna have a rough year, but he does have an upset in him. I like UCLA in this game.
Okay.
Sorry, Beavs.
5-2.
5-2.
Then we head to Arizona.
Head to Arizona, coming off a 2-game losing streak. They silence.
No. They beat Cal.
Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah. Well, 1-2 in the past 3 games.
Okay.
They win that one against
Okay.
St. Delore.
So 6-2.
6-2.
6-2. Then we head to Colorado.
Head to Colorado.
I don't remember what you said about this one.
I think I took Oregon State, but close.
Okay.
I'll stick with it.
So 7-2, and then we've got Stanford at home.
Stanford at home.
I think this could be a game where Oregon State kind of maybe fumbles a little bit, or they get this one and they lose the next 2.
Trips up in this game, but I think they win it.
Okay. So 8
8-2.
8-2, and then we've got Washington at home.
Washington.
I like
at
Washington.
Home.
I like Washington to finish in the top 10 this year.
I like Washington a lot. Yeah, I will give it to Washington.
And then we head to Oregon, and I
Head
like
to
Oregon.
I like Oregon too.
So
but close.
8
Both
and
those
4.
games are close.
8
yeah.
and 4.
Yeah, tough.
That
end
is
of
under the
season.
total though. Total is 8.5.
Really?
That's kind of a high total for Oregon State.
Yeah, I like the Beavs. Even though I'm an Oregon
I
fan,
don't know if I like them that much though.
I like them this year because of DJU. They have a talented defense, but the 8-4.
He
That's
hasn't even really had that great of a season yet.
DJU.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, but he's growing.
He's
Learning.
good. I'll give him that, but like he hasn't proved too much yet.
Yeah, 8 and
Okay.
4. Worse
All right.
than last year.
Now we go to Stanford. Over under 3. First game
Stanford over under
at
3.
Hawaii.
At Hawaii. Hawaii. They play Oregon. They don't show up. They play Stanford. They show up a little bit. I think it's 24-21 Stanford. Run.
Okay. Then we could go to USC. That's a loss.
Go to USC. Ooh.
Okay.
Shaw's
There's no
gotta
way
get a
you're
dub.
thinking about
Shaw's
this.
got to get a dub somewhere.
No.
No, Stanford's got.
So-
USC's got it. I'm sorry.
We're 1-1.
Sorry, boys.
Then we've got Sacramento State at home.
Sacramento State dub.
Arizona at home. I like Arizona.
I like Arizona.
Oregon at home. I like Oregon.
I like Oregon. Was that 1-4?
1-4.
One.
Wait.
Wait.
1-4. Then we head to Colorado
Head to Colorado.
after a
Loss.
bye. After a bye.
Loss.
Okay. So 1-5.
1-5.
UCLA at home.
UCLA at home. Interesting game.
Yeah.
UCLA gets it done close. 1-6.
1-6. Then we got Washington at home.
Washington at home. Washington handles that game. Easy.
At Washington State. Washington State's got to fucking lose at some point.
They do, but
I think we're 1-7 right now.
yeah. Keep it. Keep the losing trend going.
So we lose to Washington State.
Wait, what was their other non-conference game? Hawaii and who else?
Sacramento State.
Oh, so they're 2 and whatever.
2-6.
2-6. Yeah. Don't disrespect them.
Sorry.
2-6.
2-6.
Yeah.
And then they lose to Washington State.
Yeah.
So we're 2-7.
Yeah. Washington State.
And then we head to Oregon State. That's a loss. 2-8.
Wait, we said that was kind of a fumble.
Did we? Yeah, but they still lost.
Yeah. Okay.
So
So whatever I said earlier.
we're 2-8.
That's what's happening.
And then we've got Cal at home. I think you said Stanford won this one.
Yeah, Stanford gets a dub this one.
Okay.
Shaw needs a dub.
We're 3-8. Then, but we've got Notre Dame at home.
Ooh.
I mean, Notre Dame has to win this one essentially if they want to get to the playoffs.
I don't think Notre Dame's a playoff team though. Notre Dame does have a tough schedule. I think they lose more games, but they handle this one.
Sam Hartman, come on.
Yeah, Sam Hartman gets it done, but close, very close. It was Stanford actually won last year, I think.
So
Did they?
we end the season 3-9.
Yeah, 3-9.
That
Break
matches the win total. So that's a good number by Vegas.
even. Yeah,
Essentially.
good number.
Okay,
If you're a Stanford fan, you can't wait for next year.
I am very surprised by the total of this next one. We've got UCLA 8.5.
Woo!
That is a high number.
That is a very high number.
Now I will say their non-conference games are not very good teams. Coastal Carolina,
not very good.
I'm not
teams.
saying
I
that
love the
they
Chanticleers.
used to be.
I
a good team,
love the Chanticleers.
but they cannot play.
Coastal Carolina is a slept-on team. They get
Come
sucked
on.
on every year.
Come on.
It's Coastal Carolina, East Carolina,
They don't
App
play
State. Teams like
anybody.
that are
Come
very
on.
slept on.
Come on.
Close game. UCLA.
Okay, 1-0. San Diego State 2-0. I guess it is at San Diego State.
They pound the run game, dominate time of possession, but it's 28-24 win.
2-0.
Yeah, but both two very close games, kind of spooking UCLA.
Then they've got NC Central at home. Easy win.
NC Central. That's at HBCU, right?
Yeah, who the fuck is NC Central?
They actually
No.
made like an HBCU bowl or something last year, I think. They played Jackson State, played them close, maybe even won.
Okay.
Maybe I'm just tripping, but I like.
We're
UCLA.
2-1.
No, we're 3-0.
Oh yeah,
They're not losing to NC Central.
yeah, you're right.
Don't put those words in my mouth.
We're 3-0. Then we head to Utah. We're 3-1. Then
Wait, who are we talking about? UCLA?
Yeah.
They lose.
Washington
who?
State at home.
Lose. I like Cameron Ward, like I
So,
said,
3-2.
3-2.
At Oregon State.
at Oregon State.
Oh wait, didn't we just say that UCLA was gonna upset them?
Wait, did we?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I actually said Chip Kelly would get a
So,
win here. I did. Yep, 4-2.
4-3.
4-3.
4-2. And
Two.
then we go to Stanford.
To Stanford. We haven't talked about Stanford yet.
Yeah, we just did.
Oh, we just did.
Yep.
What did we say?
I believe we said UCLA got this one.
Okay, stick with it.
So we're 5-2, and then we've got Colorado at home.
I'm kind of understanding why their win total is kind of high.
Yeah, their schedule is not too terrible.
But did I say Colorado?
I don't really
is
remember.
on? I don't think I did. Colorado had 4 wins. I don't think this is one of them.
Okay. So we're 7-2. Nope, 6-2.
Ooh.
And then we head to Arizona.
Do whatever I said earlier, but that's like
That was a while ago.
that was ages ago.
What are we thinking?
Whatever I said earlier. Sorry if you guys want to rewind and go back. I wouldn't want to make you do that, but I think UCLA. Whatever I said earlier.
Okay, then we've got Arizona State at home.
Arizona State at home.
Yeah. I like Arizona State here.
I like Arizona State.
So we're 6-4,
4,
I believe.
Yeah, 6-4.
And then we go to USC. That's a loss.
Loss.
Cal at home.
Loss.
Really.
Actually, no. Give them the dub. 7-5.
7-5.
7-5. I like it.
Bowl
Moving
game.
on.
Bowl game season, but that is under the win total.
Uh-huh.
All right, USC over under 10 wins.
Wait, whose was higher than that? It wasn't Oregon's 10.5.
Oregon was 9.5.
Oh.
So
Okay.
it's essentially the same number.
Okay.
So
Let's dive in.
okay. Week 1, San Jose State at home, easy win.
W.
Week 2, Nevada at home,
W.
easy win.
Easy win.
Week 3, Stanford at home, easy win.
Easy win.
Okay, week 4 we go to Arizona State.
Tough.
Close win.
Tough. Yeah, very tough environment. Very, 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 very close one.
For 4-0 we go to Colorado,
At Colorado.
5-0.
Very. I think it's a close game.
5-0.
5-0.
Then we've got Arizona at home,
Close game. W.
6-0.
Yep.
Go to Notre Dame.
To Notre Dame.
We lose this one. I like Notre Dame here. It's a 6:30 p.m. game, October 14th. This is going to be a really good game.
It is.
Sam Hartman
But-
gets it done.
But I don't think Sam Hartman gets it done.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay. So we're 7-0,
7-0.
and then we host Utah.
Host Utah. Sorry. Ooh, this is a close game.
So most of their good games are at home.
I think they handle business in the Coliseum.
Okay. Then so we are 8-0, and then we go to Cal. That's a win.
W.
9-0.
9-0.
We're probably in the top 4 at this point.
Yeah. Going to Oregon though.
Then Washington at home.
Oh, Washington at home.
They have a tough stretch.
Tough stretch, but they win very, very close at Washington. They might be a top 2 team by now.
Whoa. Okay.
Yeah.
And then we head to Oregon.
Yeah, they have the
I like
recipe for
Oregon.
it.
I like Oregon.
But
at
like
home
I said
here.
earlier, you don't go to Autzen and win. It's
Okay.
tough to do. It's not happening this year. USC gets their loss. And Oregon is maybe a top 4 team by then.
So we're 10-1.
10
And then we've got UCLA at home. Easy win.
I wouldn't say
Maybe
easy.
not easy win,
That's
but
always
that's
a good game.
That's a win.
That's always
though.
a good game, but that's a close win for Lincoln Riley's
They
crew
win
and
that.
Caleb
Most
Lund.
likely they're going to the playoffs.
They got to play as what we're looking at now. I think we got
Pac-12 championship
USC and Oregon, maybe.
potentially.
I think that's what we're looking at.
Okay.
We still have Utah and Washington State, right?
Yeah, I mean, if that's
Those schools are good. You got some good schools in the Pac-12 this year.
if Washington State is going to the fucking
Oregon's only losses to Utah. USC's only losses to Oregon. Washington's a 2-loss team from those two schools.
Okay. Let's.
Is it Washington or Utah? It's Utah.
Utah is what?
What?
What is Utah?
What's their win total?
8.5.
They're. I think they're over. They're over.
Okay, so
I think they go 10-2.
Week 1, they got Florida at home. They should.
Ooh,
they should win that.
It's a good game.
Last
Florida
year it was a really good game, but Florida doesn't have anybody this year. They have Trevor Etienne at running back, and that's about it.
They don't have.
They have
AR-15 this year.
Who is their quarterback?
Wisconsin.
used to be at Wisconsin.
Graham Mertz.
Yeah,
Graham Mertz.
Yeah, he's trash.
He's gonna be better this year, but they don't beat Utah.
Then they go to Baylor.
It's a ranked matchup though. Matchup.
They go
to Baylor. Okay, I love Baylor. I like Baylor.
So we're 1-1,
but they beat Baylor. Close. Maybe a field goal.
2-0. Weber State at home. 3-0.
Yeah.
UCLA at home. 4-0.
W close.
At Oregon State.
Closer.
At Oregon State. I don't remember this one.
I don't remember this one either. Oregon State was
I think you
8-4.
took.
Yeah, I think we took Utah. Right? Because Oregon State was 8-4.
I think you took Oregon State.
I did, and then
Yeah,
they lost
did.
to UCLA after, didn't they?
So yeah, okay. So
Utah 4-1.
So yeah, we're 4-1. Then we got Cal at home, 5-1.
Yep.
USC beats them, right?
Wait,
Yeah.
where's that at?
At USC. Yeah, you said USC
Yeah.
handles business in the Coliseum. Okay,
5-2 or 4-2?
6-1.
No, they lost to Oregon State.
Oh yes,
And
5-2. Then they got Oregon at home. They
they
beat Oregon at home.
They beat Oregon. That's Oregon's one loss, and they beat them by like a field goal.
7-2. Arizona State at home.
W close.
8-2. At Washington, 8-3. Washington gets them.
So you're saying
Washington is losing to like
Oregon, USC,
and Oregon at home. So
and
there's
Utah?
no way they lose to Utah at home.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I think Utah loses.
Okay, so we're 8-3,
3, maybe 7-3.
7-3,
7-3 for Utah.
and then we go to Arizona,
win.
8-3, and then Colorado at home.
Win.
So we're 9-3.
9-3 for Utah.
That's over 8.5 though.
Over. Yep, I like it.
So we've got 2 teams left: Washington. And Washington State.
Yeah, you know my Cougs are back there.
So, Washington State, 9.5.
Wait, what? We're going over Washington.
Washington, 9.5.
Okay, let's dive in.
Okay. Boise State at home, week 1.
Win, but interesting game.
Tulsa at home.
17-point win.
Tulsa at home, 2-0.
Yep.
At Michigan State, 3-0.
Yeah, but a fun
Michigan
game.
State won't be very good this year, I don't think.
Fun game. 10-point win.
Cal at home, 4-0. At Arizona, 5-0. Holy shit. Starting off kind of hot. Then we go to Oregon. Then we got Oregon at home.
Loss.
5-1.
Loss, but they are like Washington's a top 10 team by then. I think so is Oregon.
Yeah. Good game.
Yeah, great game. The Pac-12. There's going to be so many good games in the Pac-12 this year.
Okay. I agree.
But we have to wait a little bit for them. Like none of them are early.
Yeah.
They're all late season games. This is probably the earliest one.
Yeah, October 14th.
Maybe some of the Colorado games.
Okay. Arizona State at home.
5-1, right? Aren't they? Right now?
Yes.
Gritty win.
Okay. 6-1. At Stanford, 7-1.
Win. Yeah.
At USC,
Loss.
7-2.
In the Coliseum. By a field goal.
Utah at home, 8-2.
Wait. No.
Yeah. We said Utah would lose this game.
Did we?
Yep.
Okay, then whatever I said.
8-2, and then at Oregon State, I don't remember what we said here.
I think we said Washington.
Okay. So we're 9-2.
Did we?
I don't remember.
Whatever we said earlier.
I'm just gonna say 9-2.
Gosh, we have terrible memories.
And then Washington State at home.
Ooh, the Apple Cup.
Are you fucking me right now?
The Apple.
They are not losing to
Apple
Washington
Cup.
State.
It is like Listen to me when I tell you this, folks. Washington State
No.
is a good team. They are a good team. They have a good quarterback.
They
They're a
will not.
shocking team.
They will not beat Michael Penix. 10-2. 10-2.
Okay. Yeah. Sure.
Okay.
I like Washington State.
Washington State. Here we go. Okay, we already know the answer to this one because the over/under is 5, and I think he said they're going to beat about 11 teams by now.
They're 5?
Yeah.
I think Washington State's like...
And their non-conference games are shitty.
5 is so disrespectful.
Week 1 at Colorado State.
Win.
Wisconsin at home. Week 2.
Close game. Win. A lot of people think Wisconsin's winning that game. I think Washington State's winning, and it's a big game for Cameron Ward. Win. You can think what you think.
Northern Colorado.
Washington State.
Northern Colorado at home.
Win.
Oregon State at home.
You
You said they were winning.
Whatever I said, win.
Fucking
4-0.
4-0. At UCLA, you said they were winning.
Win.
5-0.
5-0.
Arizona at home.
Win. 5-0.
6-0. At Oregon, that's their first loss.
First loss,
6-1.
Yeah, they're a top 15 team by now.
At Arizona State, 7-1 according to you.
No, 7-2.
Okay.
7-2.
Okay.
We're switching.
7-2.
7-2.
Stanford at home,
Win.
8-2.
They're top 20.
They're not 8-2. They're 7-2 right now. And then at Cal,
Win.
8-2.
Yep.
Colorado at home,
Ooh, win. Close though.
9-2.
Yeah.
And then they go to Washington, and they're gonna lose that one.
Yeah, 9-3. Great season.
That's a pretty
top
good
25
season.
finish. Maybe top 15.
So apparently smash the over.
Yeah, a lot. Disrespectful number from
Okay.
Vegas.
Yeah,
My opinion.
We will see.
All right, let's go to the rankings. Do you know what everybody's been waiting for?
So I say we just kind of do this at the same time, and we each give our number 1s, 2s, and so on and so forth.
Okay.
So my number 1 is Georgia.
Georgia, same.
Various reasons.
I was gonna put Michigan there, but yeah.
Back-to-back natties. Come on.
Yeah, back-to-back natties, elite defense. Brock Bowers.
Okay. Michigan number 2.
Yep.
Return
no doubt.
J.J. McCarthy.
Coach Harbaugh suspended first 4 games. But,
Best running back duo in the nation? Question mark.
Blake Corum, Donovan Edwards.
Pretty good.
Yeah, pretty darn good. I like it. I like it a lot.
Number 3, Ohio State. Best receiving room in the nation.
I had Bama, but
I could see
Ohio
Bama
State's
there.
Quarterback. Okay.
Cal McCord should be.
For Ohio State. Bama's quarterback, I think it's going to be Jalen Milroe week 1. After that, Tyler Buckner. Because I think Notre Dame's offensive coordinator, Tommy Rees, just works better with Buckner. They were together at Notre Dame. So
Yeah.
Ty
maybe.
Simpson's the future quarterback of Bama. Not this year, though.
So then my number 4 is LSU.
I had Ohio State.
In
Best receiving room in the nation. Marvin Harrison, Emeka Luka, Jillian Fleming.
Ohio State
And Travion Henderson.
can't be really good this year.
Very good.
I think LSU can. I think LSU is like I would say they're kind of properly rated right now.
Yeah, so I had LSU at 5. Jane Daniels. Harold Perkins.
Best linebacker in the nation.
Best defensive player in the nation.
Okay. Wow.
I think he is. Harold Perkins is... If there's going to be a defensive player on the Heisman watch, it's going to be Harold Perkins.
Whoa.
Yeah, if there is.
Okay.
Yeah.
So number 5, I have Bama.
I had LSU.
So yeah, we're pretty close right now.
Yeah, 6.
I have USC at 6.
I have Clemson.
Caleb Williams.
I'm
Heisman.
going to switch it up. I'm going to go USC at 6. I like it.
Yeah. I mean,
Caleb Williams, Heisman. Lincoln Riley, Mario Williams
Lincoln
is
Riley
going to
is
replace Jordan Addison.
really good.
Brendan Rice. And can the defense improve this year? That's the big question for
Yeah,
USC.
we'll see. I mean,
I think it will.
yeah.
But-
They have to if they want to go to the playoffs.
But they were close last year. It'll be better, but it's not by any means outstanding.
Okay. And then number 7,
Seven.
Clemson. Both of us.
Yep.
Key
Dabble
Klubnik.
Sweeney, Kate Klubnik.
Come on.
Adam Randall is a very slept-on receiver. Know the name.
Will Shipley?
Very good running
I
back.
feel like he's not mentioned a lot. He's
No.
good.
I saw him hurdle a guy, break 2 tackles in the end zone.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's pretty good.
He's tough.
Number 8, I have Notre Dame.
Penn State. And Penn State, let me rattle off some 4 preseason watch list players.
Here we
Chad
go.
Robinson, Abdul Carter, Kalen King, and Olu Fashanu, the lineman.
I'm interested to watch Kalen King and Marvin Harrison this year.
Yeah, and what about Drew Allar, the running or quarterback, and Nick Singleton?
Nick Singleton. He's
Very
pretty good.
slept on.
Yeah.
James Franklin.
He's
He's got his team on a roll. Got a stacked team.
He has a good team.
Gonna be good.
I have Penn State at 9.
I have Texas at 9.
So Texas every year gets a lot of hype before the season.
Yeah, we just want you to let you know if I didn't want to get absolutely shit on for this, this is why I have them at 9. But
I have them 10.
But personally, Texas might be out of top 15. Maybe just squeezing in there. I don't really like Texas. I think they're overhyped every year. But Steve Sarkisian, Quinn Ewers,
Quinn Ewers can, if anybody can turn it around, I'd like Quinn Ewers too.
Kelvin Banks, best pass blocker in the Big 12 last year. A.D. Mitchell, the transfer from Georgia. It's going to be very good this year.
Okay. Who's your number 10?
Tennessee, Josh Heupel.
I like him.
Got an amazing team. Joe Milton,
Yep.
best long ball in the nation. They can pound the run with Jalen Wright and hit you with the Joe Milton deep ball.
Squirrel White.
And Brew
What a
McCoy,
name.
Ramel Keaton, Dante Thornton. They are the number 2 wide receiver. Dante Thornton was elite at Oregon. They also have Ramel Keaton and Brew McCoy, 2 very slept on receivers. And then Squirrel White. He
Number 1 name in the SEC.
He might be on the Heisman watch.
Whoa.
Behind Marv.
Okay.
I mean, Joe Milton is a better
Joe
quarterback.
Milton can throw a deep ball.
He's a better quarterback than what Ohio State's got. So
Okay.
if he can rack up the numbers, I just think there's too many people in that wide receiver room for Squirrel White to take it off.
So then I have Tennessee at 11.
I have Notre Dame. Marcus Freeman, Sam Hartman, Joe Alt, very good lineman.
Yeah.
Benjamin
Joe
Morrison.
Alt's pretty good.
And Tobias Merriweather is a very good receiver.
Okay. I believe we both have the same number 12 with Oregon.
Bo Nix could win the Heisman this year. I love Bucky Irving.
Yep.
Arguably the best running back in the country. Arguably, you can make a case for anybody else. Go ahead.
Okay.
I'm not going to get mad. Troy Franklin. He is on the Blitnikoff watch list. Brandon Dorless, huge D lineman. And Jordan Birch, 5-star transfer from South Carolina. T. Ferg, tight end. And a very talented DB duo, Evan Williams and Tyseem Johnson.
So that roster is looking pretty talented.
Yeah, very talented.
Then we had my 13 is going to be Florida State.
Mine is Utah. Kyle Whittingham, Cam Rising, very smart quarterback. Grant Keithy is a very good tight end coming back. And Devon Vele, great wide receiver. Whittingham's defense is always great.
I like Jordan Travis.
Jordan Travis is amazing. I think Oregon, Utah, and Washington are all interchangeable. That's why you'll hear Washington next, and then Florida State. Florida State can be in there somewhere.
So my 14 is actually, I've thought about putting them back a little farther because I actually really do not like this team, but I have to respect them. Number 14, I have Oklahoma, Dillian Gabriel, Brent Venables. That defense is always, they can keep them in games. It's never anything special, but it's just enough, I feel like, most years.
Oklahoma's defense?
Yeah.
When Lincoln Riley was there, at least. Awful.
I mean, but it's not like they're...
But that's Lincoln Riley. Brent Venables is a defensive guy. It was a lot better last year, but offense was slacking.
Yeah.
It will be better this year.
Dylan Gabriel will have to step up.
Yeah. I have Washington. Michael Penix, Heisman watch. Jalen McMillan. Rome Odunze. Very good wide receiver. And Jalen McMillan is also. Jalen Polk is a good receiver. Elite pass rusher. Braylon Trice. And safety Asa Turner. Very good.
Okay. And then, so my number 15 is Utah.
I have
Cam Rising.
Florida State, Mike Norvell's team. Watch out for Winston Wright. I think he's having a breakout season this year. Wide receiver, Florida State, and
Okay.
Jaheim Bell, tight end. Don't forget Brandon Fisk. Know the name? One of the best defenders in college football. I guarantee it. Unless he
Okay.
gets hurt.
Little bold prediction.
Knock on wood.
Number 16, I have Washington. Obviously, that team is very talented.
I
Michael
have.
Penix. We'll see where that goes.
Yeah, I like that. Oklahoma has 16. Brent Venables. Javante Barnes at running back. He should improve a lot. And linebacker duo. Danny Stutzman and Desan McCullough. I like them.
My number 17, I'm going to go with the Pac-12 team, Oregon State.
I have TCU.
Hmm.
I like Sonny Dykes.
I do like Sonny Dykes.
They
They do lose Max Duggan, though.
do lose
And
Max
Quentin
Duggan.
Johnson.
Chance Nolan, very good safety. And quarterback is interesting, but should be should struggle a little bit at the start, losing Duggan, but
Yeah.
we'll see how it goes.
Number 18.
Oh, hold on, sorry,
Oh.
Abe Kamara.
Oh.
Abe Kamara, very good safety. I'm sorry, Chance Nolan is their quarterback.
Okay. So, number 18, Ole Miss. I actually like this team. Quinshon Judkins, arguably
I do like
one of the best
Ole
running
Miss
backs
a lot, and
in the country.
I left them out.
Whoa.
I'm sorry.
Of the top 25?
They need to be in. Yep. They are going 18. Yep. Go ahead. Speak for me.
So, yeah. So, Ole Miss, Lane Kiffin, obviously, he's a known name. Quinshon Judkins at running back. Their quarterback room is always good. I cannot think of the name of their quarterback this year. But
Jackson Dart.
Jackson Dart, that's right. So, I think
It might be Spencer Sanders.
oh.
They have a very
Right.
interesting
So
quarterback.
their quarterback room is good
very
this
stacked.
year.
And Spencer Sanders is a senior, so
Yeah.
look for him to get some snaps.
Yeah,
I think Jackson Dart is more talented, but Spencer Sanders was hurt in the spring, and he had an elite spring game after basically no practices.
And
So
Quinshon Judkins had a 1,000-yard rushing season his freshman year.
very good,
He's talented.
very good team. I
So,
like Lane Kiffin. too,
Number
a lot.
19, I have Kansas State.
I also have Kansas State. Defending Big 12 champs, Phillip Brooks is a very good kick returner. Kobe Savage is a savage, great safety. Tight end Ben Sinnott, very good. Running back Trayshawn Ward.
They did lose Deuce Vaughn and Adrian Martinez.
Yeah. Will Howard needs to have a big season. Quarterback.
My number 20 is TCU.
I have Arkansas.
Really?
Elite quarterback KJ Jefferson. I love him.
He's great.
And Raheem Sanders, very good running back. Quincy McAdoo is a lockdown DB.
Yeah, their DB room is deep, to say the least.
Yeah, and a good tight end with Barkeys Gums. I like him.
My number 21 is Wisconsin. I think this team can make kind of a comeback this year after a not as good season last year.
Really? Luke Fickell is
Yeah.
a great coach, though.
Yeah. They are changing their whole offensive scheme, but they still have Braylon Allen, Tanner Mordecai,
Yeah.
talent.
Good. I like that pick, but I don't have Wisconsin ranked. I have Kentucky at 21. I have Devin Leary
I do like Kentucky.
replaces Will Levis, and if you're gonna replace somebody that's already elite, why not do it with an elite player, Devin Leary, and Ray Davis, very good running back, wide receiver trio, Tavion Robinson, Barton Brown, and Dane Key, and then that defense, DBs, Jordan Lovett and Zion Childress, very good.
Okay. My number 22 is North Carolina. Drake May.
I also have North Carolina. Drake May. Nate McCollum from Georgia Tech and Tez Walker from Kent State, that wide receiver duo. Looking to replace Josh Downs. I think they might be able to do it.
Do you think Drake May will be in the Heisman watch this year?
I think he will. I think Drake May is
I think on paper he's a really good quarterback.
yeah, exactly.
and
Go
I
ahead.
think he just doesn't do anything too special in games. Like you
He,
will watch Caleb Williams, and he is like a Madden player.
yeah,
Drake May is kind of just like boring, but I think
he is a sleeper. Like he
he's
shows up on the
like
stat sheet.
yeah, I could see him kind of like uh, a player that he will go to the NFL and perform really well, but just not like be like super fun player to watch. Like he's boring, but he just wins.
So, you hinted at Adrian Martinez
Yeah,
from K State. He's a player like that. Nobody saw what he could do in games, but he showed up on the stat sheet.
yeah, yeah. Okay, number 23, I have Tulane,
I had South Carolina.
Spencer Rattler.
I love Spencer Rattler
Really,
and Shane Beamer. Spencer Rattler is an elite quarterback in my mind.
he's good. I just never.
He's good, and Shane Beamer trusts him. It was the trust, I believe, that held him back. They have built that trust, and they love each other. He's getting smarter. So interceptions, look for him to go down, and production to go up. I think he's going to be good. And Kelton Henderson and Vakari Swain, good receivers to throw to.
Um, at my number 24 spot, I have Texas Tech. I think Texas Tech has a good chance to win the Big 12 this year in a not so good conference. They have Texas and Oklahoma, who are obviously the front runners,
I like that.
but behind them there isn't much.
There's just, I mean, when you get down to the second half of the top 25, you kind of run out of slots. I like Texas Tech. They'll be ready to step in. But I have Oregon State at 23. DJU, expect a breakout year from him. Hasn't been much at Clemson, but he should be good. Damian Martinez, good running back, and wide receiver Anthony Gold. Isaac Hudgens on the D line, and Omar Spates in linebacker. Good
Uh,
defense.
who's your number? So
25.
who's your okay? Who's your number 25?
Tulane. Michael Pratt is an amazing QB. They're returning 4 of their 5 offensive line starters. Receiver duo Jaquan Jackson and Lawrence Keys III. Great. Running back Shady Clayton Johnson is the top returning rusher, and he's starting at running back. So they returned 3 of their 5 top defensive players, and they have potential to be the 2017 UCF.
Whoa.
I
They
love
went. Did they not go undefeated like a year ago?
Tulane.
Yeah.
They lost 1 game, maybe 2.
Okay.
They beat USC in the Cotton Bowl.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Yeah, they are a very good team, but
Uh,
it just feels wrong putting a Group 5 team that high
Yeah.
because
Uh,
they're iffy. They could be good, they could be bad. I love their uniforms.
yeah,
So.
they're great colors.
Yeah.
To wrap up my list in the number 25 spot, I have South Carolina.
Yep.
South Carolina, honestly, like they beat Tennessee last year, but other than beating Tennessee, they didn't beat anybody that was like super spectacular. I think they were like 8-4 though.
Yeah, they had a good year. They
On
should
paper,
be
they had
better.
a good year.
Yeah, they should be better this year.
So, I mean, they might end within the top 15 if they have another 8-4 or maybe like a 9-3 season.
Yeah, I think college football is going to be very fun this year. There's a lot of talent going around.
I don't know if we will see an undefeated team.
It's a good question. I think there's always one
I
out
think
there.
the best chance is Georgia.
Yeah.
They have 2 tough games at Tennessee and then Ole Miss at home. Other than that, their schedule is pretty cake.
I think they can win those games, but the youth of Carson Beck might come in.
We'll see.
Get in the way.
I like Tennessee at home. It's really tough to play there.
I think whoever wins Michigan Ohio State could be the undefeated team. Happened last year, didn't it?
Yeah,
Michigan was undefeated.
except they lost in the playoffs to TCU.
Yeah. So,
You think we will see another TCU this year? Team that kind of no one saw it coming, and then they have an undefeated season and make the playoffs.
I don't know if this is the year that nobody sees them coming, but I think Definitely some underrated teams like towards the back that can make some good runs. I like if Florida State can win big games, they could make it to the playoff. I like I like North Carolina
Whoa.
if they can get past the Clemson game. I don't think there's a lot standing in their way, but they have to win them all or lose one and look very good doing it.
Okay. Um, I'm not gonna lie. I could see a team like Wisconsin or Ole Miss. Um, close. Maybe I don't know if Wisconsin would make the playoffs. I could see Wisconsin in a top 10 finish. Same with Ole Miss. Those teams are very like talented. I think Wisconsin is either gonna have a really good year and that offense is gonna perform really well, or they're gonna like it's gonna be rocky because they've never played with this type of offense before.
Yeah, that offense should be interesting. Definitely.
Their defense is always good.
Yeah, and Luke Fickle is just a physical type coach. They're going to
Yeah.
be a physical team. Always have been. When Paul Chris was there, they were very physical. Look for it to be the same.
Okay.
Yeah. And just before we go, Penn State. I just want to go back to them. I love that team. If they can beat Ohio State,
Ohio State.
if they can
I
split,
think do they play Michigan as well?
yeah, if they can split and win at least one of those games, win the rest, I think they can make the playoff.
If they win both,
A one loss
If they
to
win-
an Ohio State or Michigan team, that's good.
If they win both of those games and lose to like, I don't know, I don't think they will go undefeated. But if they somehow beat Michigan and Ohio State and then they lost to another team, just in their schedule, like maybe a game,
Maybe like a Indiana or something.
Purdue, I don't
Yeah.
know. I think they win the national championship. If they beat both of those teams, that's a pretty unstoppable team.
Wow, what a take. But
But they have to beat both those teams first.
yeah, and they have the talent to do it. They're a good team.
Because if they beat Michigan, like that's essentially going to be like playing Georgia, I would say.
Maybe, in years past, I would disagree strongly, but
I would say the only
Georgia is not.
difference would be is Georgia's defense is better,
Yeah,
but Michigan's offense is better than Georgia's offense.
and Ohio State last year proved that you can score a lot of points on Georgia's defense.
Yeah, they beat them, correct?
No, lost by a missed field goal.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Yeah. All right. Thank you for joining us on the Midwest Ball Boys podcast. This was our premiere episode. Please like, comment, subscribe, turn on notifications, and please follow all our socials: Twitter, Instagram, TikTok at Midwest Ball Boys.
More episodes dropping this week.
So please come back.
Peace.
Peace.
It tastes good like soul food. Parked up outside in the old school. The new me back with the OU. The dog always find his way back home, and it's so true. Later on, fall through and pop one. You know the motto: smoke something, drink something, pop one.